Well, this is Thursday, January, what is it, 16th? 9:26 local time, and at 10 o'clock I had a crane appointment 60 kilometers away, or 40 miles away in Hamilton, Ontario. And I'm sitting inside my car at the Toromont cat dealer, and my truck is over there, and my trailer is behind the building. So basically, the point of this video, we are discussing the saying. We're talking about various sayings. When it rains, it pours. So in case someone does not know what that means, I'll give you a real life example, and this will also be a cautionary tale to people that want to be owner operators. So my truck sat here for 2 weeks, right? Of course, these guys, because I told them I only need the truck at the end of the week, like today or tomorrow, but then I booked the load for today, so they had it, everything was done actually like late yesterday night. And what they did was I asked them to change the coolant, check the cooling system, and here's the surprise number one: I had the thermostat replaced in October, and then in December they found that problem returned, like low operating temperature. It was 170 degrees instead of 182. So in December I came here, and they said, no, it's not your thermostat, it's some kind of a valve, so I had to pay again, right? So now I asked him, did you guys fix the cooling problem? He said, well, there's one of the thermostats was opening too early. Not too early, but a little bit earlier than the other one, because the truck has two, right? So he said, we replaced it. And I said, is it the same thermostat that was replaced in October, because it's on warranty? And the guy says, I don't know. So that's how they get you, like you have two thermostats and it's supposed to be on warranty, but they cannot tell you which one was replaced in October. So now I had to pay again, another $100 plus labor. All right, well, moving on. So they replaced the coolant. I told them I had poor fuel mileage on the way here. If you remember, I did like 4.3 miles per gallon between Rawlins, Wyoming and Walcott, Iowa 80 truck stop. So they did everything. They checked pressure, fuel pressure, air pressure. They did that full pressure test between the engine and the turbo, and the charger cooler, right? And I asked them to do top set, like to adjust all the valves. That's like expensive, but last time I did it was like over 2 years ago. And they did find some valves out of adjustment and some exhaust valves out of adjustment. So I didn't spend that money, in vain. And then I called them yesterday night because I was worried if the truck will be ready. And the guy said, oh, and I gave him a list, right? I gave him a big list of what I want them to do. Oh, another thing was I said my engine brake became weak, and I know on this truck it can be adjusted on the cat engines. So I said, then while you're doing that, also please check the air brakes on the actual truck. So they did that. And what else? Yeah, and then I call around like 10 o'clock, and the guy says, we had to put in 10 liters of synthetic oil in your differential. I said, what? Did I ask you to do that? I gave you a list with like 4 or 5 positions, and I don't recall this being one of them. And the guy said, your truck has a leak. Really? Okay. How come I did not see that leak? Because I do look at least under the truck, right? When I leave in the morning, like I would notice a big leak. Especially the guy said they had to put in 10 liters or over 2 gallons, like 2.5 gallons of oil. And he said that thing, that big jug holds 17 liters. So I lost 10, like 75%. I said, okay, but the guy says, you wanna stake it out like that oil? What do you want to do? I said, well, I would appreciate it if you called me before you did all this, because I'd be interested in fixing the actual problem. And surprise number 2, of course the first one was the thermostat. Surprise number 2, they say, you have a leak at the seal where the drive shaft connects to this differential. On one of them, it's like a dual metal seal, And I said, you guys just reinstalled my differentials. Maybe you did something wrong, you know, that didn't install something properly. Like, I did not have this before I changed my axle ratio. And he says, no, that's actually your shop that did the gear change, because when they took that differential apart, that's the seal that they had to put back on. And I said they probably used the old one, and the guy says, yeah, look, we cannot tell, but so I guess he just reused the old seal, cheap bastard. And of course I cannot drive like that because it was leaking like crazy all of a sudden, you know. But I think why it happened is because the truck sat here for like 10 days. It was very cold. It was like minus 25 Celsius at one point, which is in Fahrenheit, don't ask me, but it's like really bad, you know. It's like if you shut off your engine for a whole night, you may not be able to start it in the morning. And I think that's what killed that seal, you know. It was probably leaking a little bit, and then I brought it in from the cold inside the shop. And so I had to do that. I said, how much will it cost? The guy says 370 bucks, just labor plus oil. But anyway, so I thought it would be like 1,500 bucks. Maybe, okay, I thought 1,000, then I was thinking, okay, 1,500. All right, and now I'm already running low. And then I come this morning, pick up the truck. I said, okay, show me the number. And the guy says, after tax, after $25 environment fee, of course, they need that, it's $2,400, 2400. Now, you know, when you expect maximum 1,500 bucks, then you get slapped with 2,400 bucks. You know, that's when you start remembering that saying, when it rains, it pours. So I pick up the truck and I start driving. My ABS light is on. I shut it off, turn it on, the ABS light disappears, then I start driving, and down the road it appears again. Okay, screw this, I don't have time for this. And then I look at my battery gauge, shows 16 volts. What? I stop, I turn off the engine, start again, now it shows 12. Like pretty much like at the minimum, you know. Something's weird. So I went, picked up my trailer like 2 miles from here at my parking lot, and went, bought some timbers because I had only 4 left. Went to Home Depot, bought some 4 timbers, and drove in here. I said, guys, maybe you forgot to connect something because my ABS light is on. Oh, and now it was on the trailer too. Like I have 2 dash lights, right? One for the truck, one for the trailer. Both are on as soon as I hooked up to the trailer. And I said, oh, and the guy said, well, we don't have the software to fix that, to diagnose your ABS, because they're Toramont, right? So they're not, they say they do everything, but they don't have, you see, they don't yet have the software to fix all these specific truck body problems, because originally they only dealt with engines, right? Anyway, but I said, can you do something, can you check my battery, because something's going on with the gauge. So we open the hood and my engine is running, and the guy just brings a, you know, that little, kind of looks like a smartphone, plugs it into the end connectors on the alternator, and he says 0, like 0.2. He says it's not charging. He says increase your RPM. I go inside the cab, I bring my RPM up, and he says come here. Now he shows me the gauge. It's like it was some number, but I don't remember, but he said that's way too much. And he checked the gauge, so basically my gauge was showing the correct number. So when it was showing 16, that was the it was overcharging. So basically, surprise number 3, I now need a new alternator, because this guy said that, yeah, you can drive until your battery dies, but something like the alternator went crazy, so now it's either putting too much voltage or nothing at all. And he says if you keep driving like this, you're gonna burn your batteries. So then I'm looking at another $500-600 bucks for new batteries, and I'm thinking probably that's what the ABS light was telling me, because there was probably too much voltage, you know, somewhere there, and the ABS got screwed up. So anyway, so they found the alternator in the same Hamilton where I supposed to load, and the guy says, well, I can give you a deal. If you pay for it yourself, I will not charge you our markup fee, like 10%. I said, screw this, you know, like I'm not driving there myself, like, you know, you do all this, because that's just dimes and nickels at this point. So it was like $375 plus the tax plus markup. I think it's like $425, but luckily it's only 1 hour labor. So add our 13% tax, and that's $600. So that's why they say when it rains it pours, right? And now of course I'm missing my appointment, the crane appointment, and there's 2 loads over there, right? There's the guy found one guy, the dispatcher found one truck, and then he was waiting for me because they have to be loaded simultaneously, because they didn't want to call the crane back again, right? Because it costs a lot of money. So when I found that load, the guy says, oh, okay, now with that first guy, so he's still interested, so you guys can go. And I already ordered my permits, right? But anyway, so this thing, they said the alternator will be in like in the afternoon, like after lunch, and then it's only an hour, so he says your truck will be ready by the end of today. But now I cannot load until tomorrow, and this might screw up my permits, because the overweight permits that you get, you know, for different states, because it's 2,300 miles. So now I may run out of some permits on the route. Not a very good day. So guys, you should be ready for some of this, especially if someone wants to buy an old truck. And this is just, again, a cautionary tale. So my advice is, do not buy a rundown truck, because you can be stuck with problems like this. Like, luckily my truck, I got it was 3 years old, right? Only had 160,000 miles. But now, see, if someone would have bought it now, that would be the first thing they would have to change, the alternator. You know, of course, it's probably it's cheaper in the States, in US somewhere, but the labor is probably, I don't know, instead of $110, it's maybe $85, $90, and they might have less tax, because our tax here, sales tax, is very high. But still, you know, you gotta be careful and have some savings or some, you know, big fat credit cards to afford this fun, highway fun. So thanks for watching. I'm Sergie Dratchev, and this was supposed to be my trucking video, but I'm in my Mazda, still looking at this beautiful symbol on my steering wheel. But hopefully tomorrow I will be in that yellow beast. Oh, and one thing I gotta say, that I did feel the difference, you know, when they did the top set. Normally with the trailer, the truck was already kind of like, you could feel that it's heavy, you know, but now it felt pretty good. I think, you know, at least that top set, they did not, I did not waste the money. Oh, and also one more thing I'll be doing, if I find the money. Now, first, of course, I have to find money to pay for this, but I found some performance harnesses for Caterpillar, and those give you like extra, I forgot, 50-60 horsepower, like 100-150 extra pounds of torque, and that's what I'm gonna do after this. But in the near future, besides that, I don't think I'm gonna do any more repairs on this truck. It's killing me. So be safe, and stay away from truck shops with high labor rate, especially in Canada.